He's under pressure, tries to find somebody, does get it off, and it's incomplete.
I think O'Reilly got it off because at the time he tried to let go of the ball, Vincent Fife just laid into him. They're going to say he's getting rid of it, but he's coming up a bit limping, Rossback is. The pass looked like it was intended for Feiner, but it will bring up a 4th down, and once again, Rick Barglowski is in to kick. And again, back deep for the Seahawks is number 30, Tremaine Hughes, and number 24, Kevin Daniel.
And the penetration has been really good the last 2 times from the Wagner defense. See what happens this time. It's a high snap, and 3 guys get good penetration. It's a short kick. It's taken at the 45 by Wagner to the 50, and that's where Wagner will take over on 1st and 10. Dave, 3 guys break through on that play. The last couple times it's been only 1. What are they doing wrong that's getting the penetration for Wagner?
Oh, they're not getting the blocking. Tremaine Hughes, by the way, on the carrier, bringing it just on the Monmouth side of the 49.
You're listening to
Once again,
AM 1410
the,
WHTG.
penetration. The main guy is Ryan Tobin. And now we know why the senior is one of the co-captains and one of the leaders of this defense for Wagner. He just does an incredible job of running up the middle, not only on defensive plays, but on the punt coverage. That's 3 times Barglowski has kicked, and 3 times that Tobin's been in his face.
1st and 10 for Jason Q and Wagner. He'll fake the handoff. Looks to throw. He's going for the bomb. Down the sideline. He's got a man wide open, and it's caught at the 10-yard line. Number 22, Sean Hurley, with the 40-yard catch.
Hurley might be hurt on that one, too, as he extended a bit and caught the ball approximately the 10 or 11-yard line. He is down. We're going to take a quick time out here on the Monmouth Football Radio Network.
When you need insurance, turn to an agency you can trust. Turn to the Frank D. Fish Agency of Long Branch for all your insurance needs. They provide a professional, experienced staff to handle all your insurance needs. Service is important, and so is experience. At the Frank D. Fish Agency, service and experience have made them a leader for all forms of personal insurance, including auto, homeowners, life, and health. They also specialize in commercial insurance to cover the needs of merchants, manufacturers, professionals, and contractors, including bonding. Frank D. Fish has been in the business for 45 years. His son, Tom Fish, continues the same tradition of service and experience. Frank D. Fish Agency of Long Branch is a member of the Professional Insurance Agent Association and an independent insurance agent. For all your insurance needs, call 870-0051. That's 870-0051. Service is important, and so is experience. Trust the Frank D. Fish Agency.
We are back here at Kessler Field as they start to get Sean Hurley off the field. Hurley having to extend himself, dive to catch the ball, probably got the ball underneath him and knocked the wind out of him. Anyhow, it's going to be a 1st down and 10 as the ball is placed just outside of the Monmouth 10-yard line. Again, the Hawk defense has to come up big here.
Hurley came up with a 40-yard reception on the play, and Q on 1st and goal fakes the handoff, rolls to the right, throws, complete, touchdown.
Touchdown over there. The reception made, it looks like it's number 83, and that is Fred Muskelly, the backup wide receiver. Very poor coverage over there, especially David Michael James, number 8, the freshman out of Clifford Scott, getting turned around on his defense and was not able to make any play on that one as Maselli makes the reception, and it's 6 points, and with 12 minutes left to go in this first half, finally some points on the board as Wagner puts up 6.
Well, if that was Maselli, give him credit, his first catch of the season coming right there and for the touchdown.
And again,
no report
coming in
yet on Sean Hurley, and don't forget he's the team's leading receiver for the Wagner team. Kick is up, and the kick is good. 12 minutes remaining in the first half. Wagner up 7-0.
Actually, that was Bill Summers who made the reception, number 83 instead of number 82. It's getting tough to read the numbers, isn't it?
And we'll talk more about that in 1 minute here on the Monmouth Football Radio Network.
When you need homeowners, automobile, or professional insurance, turn to the Frank D. Fish Agency of Long Branch, an insurance agency you can trust. In the area of homeowners insurance, one way to keep costs down while maintaining adequate protection for your family, property, and belongings is to increase the size of your deductible. Also, you may be eligible for lower premiums if you have certain protective devices installed in your home, such as a burglar alarm, fire alarm, or smoke detector. If you have property that can be considered as fine arts, this can be scheduled at a reduced rate. All companies do not have an identical rating structure. The Frank D. Fish Agency can shop your insurance requirements with many companies to obtain the most preferred rate consistent with adequate coverage. Be smart about your insurance coverage. Call 870-0051 for a review of your homeowner's insurance. Call the Frank D. Fish Agency in Long Branch, 870-0051. That's 0051.
We are back here at Monmouth College, and it is 7-0 as the Seahawks are back to kick it off, and it will end up in the hands. Whoa, as William Holder slips, and he will go down at the 27-yard line. Again, on the touchdown reception for the Seahawks, Bill Summers, the freshman out of Rutherford, making another reception. That's his second big catch of the day.
Summers got 65 yards receiving, and coming into this football game, he only had 4 catches. He was averaging 20 yards per reception. Nice drive there by Wagner, and a very weird kick there by Daniel Ricciardi. It almost like he top-slided up to like center field. Never really gotten too much under that kick.
Well, there's a reason for that, and we will get into it in a second as Rosbach is set behind center.
On first down and 10, the ball's at the 27-yard line. Rosbach looking to throw, comes to the right side, completes it to Finer at the 33. He'll be taken out at about the 36-yard line. Pick up a 9, second out and 1.
Driven out of bounds by James Lorenzo out of Monsignor Farrell High School in Staten Island. Now, the reason we're going to see some very short kicks on kickoffs is, again, the field condition. The ball being placed at the 35, but the approach between the 30 and 35 is just, there is no grass left there. It's just mud. So he's not going to be able to get the traction that he normally would. And, you know, the first thing is you want to make sure you kick the ball and get a good kick, and then second, you go worry about distance.
And hence the reason why we're playing sideline-to-sideline football today. By the way, that completion to Finer was good enough for a first down. Ball spotted at the 37-yard line, 1st and 10. High formation behind Rosbach, who looks to run the football. The handoff was given to Ralph O'Neill, 31, and he's tripped up behind the line of scrimmage. He may have lost one on the play.
Anthony Harper getting a couple of hands on him and bringing O'Neill down. O'Neill will end up losing a yard, and it will bring up a 2nd and 11 for the Hawks with the ball set at their own 36.
Checking in, Brian Lockley, number 21, will be his first action of this football game, and probably the cleanest uniform on the football field right now. Going out to the wide left side will be William Holder and William Kelleher. Split backs behind Doug Rosbach on this 2nd down and 11 play, and he looks to throw. Looking over the middle, he throws complete at the 50. He's fumbling the football. Wagner picks up at the 45.
Rule it was incomplete.
And that's a break for Monmouth because William Holder, number 10, looked like he had the football long enough.
Brian Prescott just leveled Holder when he got the ball. And I don't think Holder might not know exactly where he is right now. That's the type of hit that Prescott laid on Holder, but it will bring up a 3rd and 11, and it's again a good thing it was ruled incomplete. I think he might have had possession long enough.
That's what it looked like to me, Dave. It definitely looked like he held on to it long enough. That is a break for Monmouth right now. But again, another shot at this on 3rd and 11. And Holder is still in there after that tough shot that he took. Same formation, except it's high backfield behind Rosbach. Looking to throw on 3rd and 11, looking down the sideline, going for the long shot. Lockley incomplete. Just missed hitting his intended receiver, Brian Lockley, number 21.
James Lorenzo on the coverage there. That play would have picked up about 30 yards had it been complete. It was just a bit out of the reach of Lockley. Was not able to dive. He tried to stretch out and get it, was not able to. And again, the Hawks will turn it over on 4th down as Barglowski is back to kick. And again, we'll keep an eye on linebacker Ryan Tobin as he's been in all 3 previous kicks on Barglowski.
Barglowski gets a good snap. Got some good protection, gets off a medium kick. It'll be taken at the 34-yard line. Hughes has got the football, cuts back toward the middle. It goes down about the 38-yard line, and there just went Brian Lockley's brand new clean uniform. It is now saturated in mud.
What happened on that punt that gave Barglowski a bit of time was a great block by Jimmy Varick on, once again, it was Ryan Tobin who was in there on the pressure, but he was able to get the block by Varick and get the kick off. So that might be what they need to do, is to have a block, a back guy. Normally on your punt protection, you've got an up man and then your punter, but it looks like they had 2 men back on that time in order to stop Tobin from getting in there and getting to Barglowski.
1st and 10 at the 39 for Wagner. They give it to the fullback on the run. And a decent pickup there on the carry was, if I'm not mistaken, Chris Purdy.
I think that was Purdy. Picked up, they'll end up giving him close to 5 yards as the ball is on the outside of the 44-yard line. John Mendez on the stop. And again, it's starting to drizzle a bit, and this field is just going to turn this one into a slop, and we're going to have a tough time identifying, especially the players on the Wagner side, is because of being the visitor team, they're dressed in white.
Speak for themselves. I think they're more dressed in mud now on 2nd and 5. Lockwood breaks it open to the 50, to about the 45. He's still on his feet to the 40, the 35. Still going. the 30, 25, 20, down to the 17-yard line. Davey breaks 4 tackles.
But it's Monmouth's ball as Peter Jones forces a fumble over there on the far sideline, and it looks like it was Michael James recovering. What a big turn of events. Lockwood's down and hurt. We're going to take a quick time out here on the Monmouth Football Radio Network.
Frank D. Fish Agency of Long Branch, your professional insurance agent, wants you to know about the insurance you're buying. A number of factors determine the cost of your homeowner's policy, including the type of policy you choose, how much insurance you carry, and the size of your deductible. The construction of your home or apartment is also a factor, as some buildings are more fire resistant than others. Available fire protection in your community and where you live are also factors. The Frank D. Fish Agency of Long Branch can shop your insurance requirements with many companies to obtain the most preferred rate consistent with adequate coverage. Service is important, and so is experience at the Frank D. Fish Agency in Long Branch. For all your insurance needs, call 870-0051. That's 870-0051. Service is important, and so is experience. Call the Frank D. Fish Agency in Long Branch.
It is second down for the Hawks. As on first down, they pick up 9.5 after the turnover.
Rosbeck looking the throw. He gets off a pass. It's completed to Feiner at the 30. He gets out to about the 37-yard line. That's going to be good enough for the first down. Let's recap what you missed. There was a completed pass from Rosbeck to Feiner. He goes along the near left side, picked up 9. And on that pass play, picked up another 9. Good for the first down. Now let's go back to Keto Lockwood, who broke one open. And that run was for 43 yards. And then a fumble, and it looked like a late fumble, and lost in the mire and the muck. Michael James came up with the football, and that's why Monmouth has the football right now. First and 10, ball spotted at the 37-yard line. One back behind Doug Rosbeck in this 4-wide receiver set. Rosbeck looking to throw on the quick pass. Overthrows William Holder. He tried to hit him at the 40-yard line, but that'll set up a second and 10.
Going back to that carry by Lockwood, Peter Jones ended up making the tackle and was able to get the ball loose from him. And when your defensive lineman travels down 35 yards or so to make a tackle, that's not a good sign. You name it, they had a shot at him. Michael James had a shot. Joe Quayle had a shot at him. It looks like John Mendez almost had him down. Chris Orsagna, and 4 or 5 missed tackles before finally Peter Jones caught up with him. But when Jones did, he made it count, turning the ball over, and Michael James on the fumble recovery.
Christopher is checked into the backfield on this second down situation. Rosbeck throwing over the middle, and it looks like it will be a completed pass to Ron Polakowski. Nice job there to get the football, go down for it, and pick up about 9 yards, setting up a 3rd and 1.
Roger Wally over there on the coverage had pretty good coverage, but Rosbeck put the ball in a great place. The only one who was able to catch that would be Polakowski, and the freshman from Howell did make the reception, and it will bring up a 3rd and probably a short 2 for the Hawks as the ball set down at their 46.
One back in the backfield, 4 wide receivers in the pattern. We've been talking a lot about this today. 3 come to the near right side, 1 to the left. Rosbeck calling signals on a 3rd down and 1. Rosbeck, quick drop back, looks to the left, can't find anybody. He'll roll toward the right, and he's looking to throw, does get off a pass, and almost completed to Rick Feiner, but he paid for it. It's number 31, Mark Dawson, laid him out.
And not only did Feiner almost able to make the catch, and Feiner is down, and the Hawk trainers are over there as Feiner's over on the sideline, but Marcus Winters almost came up with it, and that was probably a bad pass by Rosbeck, because he would have been able to easily have run to pick up the first down. He should have thought about that first. He looked at a big gain, and what happened was he ended up throwing it a bit over Rick Feiner, and Feiner's down. They're probably not going to stop the clock because he is all the way. They are going to stop it. We're going to take a quick time out here. 8:59 left to go, and it is 7-0 Wagner. You're listening to the Monmouth Football Radio Network.
Motorola brings you Radius, the first clearly affordable compact two-way radio. Now AR Communications, 91 Main Street, Highway 35 in Eatontown, has the wonderful new Radius by Motorola. These two-way radios bring you clearer transmission and reception at a price as small as they are. The portable model is less than 6.5 inches long, yet it packs all the power you need to keep in touch. Motorola designed Radius not only to be tough, but also for simple reflex operation. When seconds count, just push the button and talk. Radius comes in both portable and mobile units, and they're clearly affordable. You get Motorola quality, the standard of police and fire departments across the country. AR Communications has the complete line of Radius by Motorola. It's more than a radio, it's Radius. AR Communications, 91 Main Street, Highway 35 at the main gate of Port Monmouth, Eatontown. Call 542-8695 for all your communications requirements. 542-8695. That's 542-8695. Radius by Motorola, the first clearly affordable two-way radio.
We are back here at Kessler Field. The Monmouth Hawks trailing Wagner by the score of 7-0. On the last play, Rick Feiner was just leveled by a hit by free safety Mark Dawson, the freshman out of Freehold Borough. In fact, I'm sure that he saw Rick Feiner quite a bit. Feiner out of Jackson Memorial High School. Feiner is finally up and moving about, and what will happen now is we get back to play. The ball set at the Monmouth 46-yard line. It's about a 4th and a long 2, and Rich Barglaski is back to kick it away, and again in the back to catch it for the Hawks, Tremaine Hughes, and also Kevin Daniel.
Oh, they're going to fake it, and the ball was bobbled by Jimmy Barrett. He's going to be taken down. He had the defense frozen for that split second, but because the ball got bobbled, he just could not handle the snap. That's a tough break for Monmouth, and Wagner's going to take over the ball 1st and 10 at the Monmouth 43.
See, I'm not sure that's such a great play, especially with the field condition the way it is, because when Barrett gets the snap, he's going to get the snap about 5 yards deep. And although you have the element of surprise, you're asking him to be able to pick up 5 yards on very poor turf. And he was not able to handle the snap. And it looked like Brian DeVoe, the other co-captain lineman. We've been mentioning Ryan Tobin's name on these kicks, but Brian DeVoe was the one who made the penetration on that one.
1st and 10, they'll pitch it to Lockwood. He's going to be taken out for about a 4-yard loss. Number 90, Tim Canavan, getting great penetration on that play.
And teaming up with Canavan over on the stop was Joe Little, so the Middletown South connection. Canavan, the junior, Joe Little, the freshman. Both of those schools out of Middletown South. And just coincidentally, at halftime, they're going to have some entertainment here as the Middletown South Marching Band will be performing at the half.
That fake punch, though, Jimmy Barrett did have them fooled for that split second, but that's a good point that you made, Dave. With the field conditions that they had, Jimmy just would not have really been able to get off. And proof again, bobbling the football because the snap and the wet ball, providing the situation now in front of us for Wagner out of the shotgun. They take the ball on 2nd and 14. Q throwing over the middle. It's completed about the 37, and down at the 35-yard line is Keto Lockwood with about a 10-yard pass play. Going to set up a 3rd down, and we'll call it 3.
John Mendez on the stop for the Hawks. And again, going back to that fake punt, another thing that you have to keep in mind with that as well is that is not your regular center. That's usually a long snapper. And I think the long snapper for the Hawks is a backup tight end, Tom Mulvaney. I think he's the long snapper. So he's used to snapping the ball back to 15 yards. So now you're asking him, instead of doing a normal snap, he's going to have to do a different snap, and he might have not put the ball. It might have been a bit high for Varick. It might have been a bit low. That's something you don't get much practice, and with a wet ball, it's even tougher to work.
On 3rd and 3 at the 35, Q rolls out to the right, completes the pass at about the 30 to 25 to 20-yard line. That's where the player's going to go out of bounds for Wagner, and that's going to bring up another 1st down. I think a completion.
But they're probably going to bring it back, because I am almost positive it's going to be a motion penalty. We're waiting for the call. There is a flag down. I think it's going to be a motion penalty on the Seahawks. Chris Purdy on the reception for Wagner, but Wagner is going to be marched back. It was an early flag. Yeah, it is a motion call, and it will bring up a 2nd and about 7 as the ball will move back to the 40-yard line, and that is they're really moving the ball back. Well, the Monmouth players just keep walking back. They don't realize that the Wagner players still have to go 10 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
They may have thought it was a holding, Dave. That may have been what they were thinking at the time. It is going to be a 2nd down, a long 7 with the ball at the 40-yard line. The referees are calling timeout on the field just to get their story straight, as they're kind of having a powwow in the middle of the field to figure out what's going down here. But the original call is illegal motion against Wagner College. And once again, Wagner starting to stall, and the Monmouth defense has still been making the key plays. Maybe not necessarily the big plays, but key plays to make sure that Wagner...
Okay, now they're going to bring... It looks like they're going to bring over a couple more officials now. I can't imagine, because it was a very quick flag, and I only saw one flag down, I can't imagine that there were 2 separate penalties. Maybe what they're doing is they're deciding on the spot of the ball. But very interesting. Okay, the referee is heading on over, and he looks like he's going to have a word with Coach Callahan. Coach Callahan taking his headsets off. Does not look like he's a happy camper right now.
Yeah, it's a very confusing situation going down on the field, Dave. I mean, all 5 referees gathering about. And again, getting the initial call and some pointing going on
Towards us.
here. And I'll tell you, I think it may be with the clock. It could be with the clock. Right now, the time remaining is 7:19 in the first half. Wagner is leading 7-0.
Yeah, that's right, because if that is a motion penalty and they stop the play right at the line of scrimmage, what they're going to do is put the time back on the clock.
So that's the debate going on between Coach Callahan
But
and a couple of the referees.
But on the other hand, if that's the case, they usually whistle the play dead, and they didn't whistle that play dead. So, you know, it's still early in the game where 3 or 4 seconds are going to take as we see some seagulls flying over, not exactly Seahawks, but,
Is that an omen?
It could be.
Jason Q now getting involved in this. Very bizarre. One of the most bizarre moments we've had in the Monmouth season so far.
You know what else is very bizarre because of the single-side stands here is the fact that I'm looking down on the track and we've got the Monmouth cheerleaders and the Wagner cheerleaders almost next to each other, and that's a very unusual setup as well.
Well, the confusion's been settled. It was a matter of what down it was, and Callahan won his case. It is third down, not second. So a 3rd down and 7 situation, ball at the 40-yard line. Q brings up the offense, and he will look to give the ball off. Lockwood up the middle, gets room, gets the first down, beyond the 30 to the 24-yard line.
Lockwood, and it looks like Michael James over on the stop as well as David Lewis. And he's absolutely correct because the first play was the run by Lockwood that went nowhere, and then the second one was another run that kind of gained about 7 yards, so it was a 3rd down, but the sideline marker went to 2nd down. And I think what happened there was, it's a marker that goes 1, 2, 3, 4. When they looked like they got the first down, maybe they started switching the marker, and when they stopped it, right 2 instead of 3.
Checking in for Wagner, Archie Dean at 1 receiver, but they'll pitch it to Lockwood off the right side on 1st down. He'll get maybe 2 yards on the play. It'll bring a 2nd and 8. The ball will be at about the 22-yard line.
Canavan and Shervin over on the stop for the Hawks. Clock kicking down to 6:30 and counting, and the Hawks trailing 7-0 here in the first half.
And it has been predominantly the ground game, like we expected from Wagner College, that has done the damage, and the focal point, Tito Lockwood, who by now we cannot make out his number. We just know he's been in there at halfback the whole game. High formation behind Jason Q on the 2nd down. Quick drop back, throws over the middle. It's complete to the 10, to the 5. There's a touchdown, but there's a flag.
Holding. That's going to be holding, and that's going to wipe out a nice touchdown pass to number 11, Archie Dean. That would have been Archie Dean's 5th catch on the air, but a very obvious hold that flag was thrown right at the feet of the the offensive line, and it was in the middle, so my guess is the hold was either on center John Urliola or left guard Phil Hurt. And either way, it's a big penalty because it wipes out a touchdown and moves the ball back 10 yards, and it will bring up a 2nd and probably 17 when they march the ball back.
Wipes out a 22-yard touchdown play to Archie Dean, a little used wide receiver who's only checked in over the last couple of plays. And that could hurt Wagner right now, as again, every time they're starting to build some steam and momentum, they seem to stall. And this is a break for Monmouth College right now because that takes the 6 points off the board. It would have been 13-0. But now 2nd down, call it about 18 to go. And the ball will be spotted at about the 33-yard line.
Wagner coming in with a record of 7-1, a great offensive team, a great defensive team. One of their nemesis, though, penalties. They get 68 penalties for 638 yards so far this season.
2nd down, Lockwood on the carry, gets out to about the 30 to 28-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry, sets up a 3rd and long situation. And importantly, he ran toward the right side just in case if they're going to set up for a field goal. Seems like there's better traction on the right side of the field as opposed to the left.
Going back to the penalty situation for Wagner, this is a team that averages 80 yards a game in penalty minutes. And again, when you talk about penalties, the other thing you got to keep in mind, too, is not only did the play cost them the 10 yards that they get moved back, but it also cost them the 22-yard touchdown. So there's the penalties. When you look at a statistic of just yards and number of penalties, that's not the true story of how much penalties can hurt a team.
And we got confusion on the field. Jason Q is going to call timeout. 5:21 remaining in the first half. It is Wagner 7, Monmouth nothing. Back in 60 seconds on the Monmouth Football Radio Network.
When you need insurance, turn to an agency you can trust. Turn to the Frank D. Fish Agency of Long Branch for all your insurance needs. They provide a professional, experienced staff to handle all your insurance needs. Service is important, so is experience. At the Frank D. Fish Agency, service and experience have made them a leader for all forms of personal insurance, including auto, homeowners, life, and health. They also specialize in commercial insurance to cover the needs of merchants, manufacturers, professionals, and contractors, including bonding. Frank D. Fish has been in the business for 45 years. His son, Tom Fish, continues the same tradition of service and experience. Fish Agency of Long Branch is a member of the Professional Insurance Agent Association and an independent insurance agent. For all your insurance needs, call 870-0051. That's 870-0051. Service is important, and so is experience. Trust the Frank D. Fish Agency.
We are back here at Kessler Field as the Monmouth Hawks trailing the Seahawks of Wagner by the score of 7-0. It is third and a long 15 for Wagner as they step up to the line.
Q takes it onto the shotgun. Looking, he's got time, throws over the middle, completed to 20. Lockwood gets it down to the 15. It should be interesting just how close he is to the first down because he's right near the first down marker.
At the end of that play, it looked like one of the other guys were down there, and Tim Canavan came together. We're going to see a lot of slipping and a sliding. Should be playing some little Richard music in the background or something. They're going to be short. It looks like they're going to spot the ball just inside the 16. They need to get the ball to the 15, and wholesale changes on the defense. Oh, DeAndre Ford almost picked off Mike Kriskowski on that one. 4th and 1, and they're going for it.
3 backs in the backfield behind Jason Q. 4th and a half a yard. They hurdle it up, and I don't think they made it.
What a play by Chris Orsagna. It's all going to be where it's spotted. It was Chris Purdy on the carry, and it's all going to be where they spot the ball. But Orsagna just leveled him in the air. It's like one of those things that, force meets force. And
Monmouth has stopped them. They will not get the first down.
I'm surprised again, it depends on the spot of the ball. They're not even measuring, as the ball will be spotted at the 16, and the Hawks hold once again on 4th down.
So Monmouth dodges another bullet, and they're still breathing with a 7-0 football game right now. And Rossback comes back out with the ball at the 16-yard line. Ron Polikowski's checked in at one wide receiver. Brian Lockley is checked in, so is Marcus Winters. I formation behind Rossback. They trail 7-0 as we approach halftime with 4:32 remaining. Hand off to O'Neal. He goes off the left side, gets maybe 3 yards as he approaches the 20-yard line.
They ran behind Justin Garbolino, and a great block by Jimmy Varick, opening up a good-sized hole for O'Neal. That's probably the biggest rushing game for the Hawks so far. Brings up a 2nd and 5 as the ball will be set just outside the 20-yard line.
Got better yardage than I expected. And Brian Lockley will check out. And Marcus Winters looked like he was checking in. It's not. It's William Holder and Ron Polikowski lining up his wide receivers to the near right side. I formation behind Rossback on 2nd down. He'll pitch it to O'Neal. He'll run off the left side, and he will try to gain some yardage and maybe gets back to the original line of scrimmage, setting up 3rd down.
Again, it's the same exact play. The only difference is this time Garbolino and Varick were not able to get their blocks. They're going to end up losing 2 yards on the play, and it'll bring up a 3rd and a short 7 for the Hawks. And as we look at the Monmouth sidelines, they are talking to Rick Feiner on the sidelines. We're not going to see him again in this first half. It looks like that Rick still doesn't know exactly where he is.
It's still good to see him on the bench, at least with it to a point, because that could have been really a damaging hit. Right now, 1 back on the backfield for Rossback, 3 wide receivers in the pattern. 3rd down, gives it off. Christophic on the draw to the 30. The 35's got room. He's out to about the 36-yard line. That's a 1st down.
Tackle over there on the play made by Roger Fitterman, and it looked like that Jason Lorenzo had him lined up and just missed the tackle. Actually, that was Roger Wiley who had it lined up and missed the tackle. They're going to mark the ball at the 35-yard line. Big play and a gutty call because, again, with the field condition being the way it is, a draw play on 3rd and long with this field. What happened was Christopher cut the ball to the outside, getting the good footing on the sidelines of the field, was able to pick up close to 10 yards on the play.
To be exact, he picked up 15 to get to the 35-yard line on 1st down. They will hand it off to O'Neal. Gets out to about the 37-yard line, getting 2 on that play. We'll call 2nd and 8, and a late flag is checked in.
And that flag is probably going to come on Mark Dawson, who was getting into it with Jimmy Varick, and Varick holding his block, and it looked like Dawson might have hit him once or twice after the play too many. I think that it's going to be an unsportsmanlike conduct.
I think that's exactly what it's going to be, especially from the reaction of the
They're going to call the Hawks.
No, they're going to call it on the Hawks. And it looked as though with the Wagner reaction, a lot of players were looking really ticked at the penalty flag. They thought it was against them, so it's interesting. So they're going to call it. It looks like against Jimmy Varick.
Again, Jimmy Varick was holding his block a bit longer after the play. It looked like Dawson might have taken a swipe or two at him, but what they're going to do is they're going to call it on Varick, and that is a big personal foul call. It will bring up and if that's after the play, it should be after the play, and it should bring up a second down.
Well, we'll see.
And that's what the officials are going over. They're going over and telling the guy on the sideline, second down.
It'll be a 2nd and 23. O'Neal did get 2 on the carry, but 15 back sets up this situation with the ball at the 20-yard line. Rosbach brings up 3 wide receivers. He's looking to throw on the play. Throws to the near right sideline. Completes it to Lockley at the 25, and that's as far as he's going to go.
And Lockley just got leveled. He was being held there by number 51, Ryan Tobin, and it looked like number 66, Richard Laramsona, just came over and leveled him. And that was an unusual catch by Lockley because when he caught it, he turned towards the middle of the field instead of trying to go to the sidelines where he would have good footing.
He's going to set up a 3rd and 19 now for Monmouth. Clock under 2 minutes to go in the first half. 7-0 the score to Seahawks on top of the Hawks.
Nice crowd here at Kessler Field, considering the rather inclement weather, a bit of a drizzle, and it is cold somewhere in the mid-40s outside.
And Rosbach has to call timeout. 1:42 remaining in the first half. Wagner leads 7-0. We'll be back in 60 seconds.
When you need homeowners, automobile, or professional insurance, turn to the Frank D. Fish Agency of Long Branch, an insurance agency you can trust. In the area of homeowners insurance, one way to keep costs down while maintaining adequate protection for your family, property, and belongings is to increase the size of your deductible. Also, you may be eligible for lower premiums if you have certain protective devices installed in your home, such as a burglar alarm, fire alarm, or smoke detector. If you have property that can be considered as fine arts, this can be scheduled at a reduced rate. All companies do not have an identical rating structure. The Frank D. Fish Agency can shop your insurance requirements with many companies to obtain the most preferred rate consistent with adequate coverage. Be smart about your insurance coverage. Call 870-0051 for a review of your homeowner's insurance. Call the Frank D. Fish Agency in Long Branch, 870-0051. That's 870-0051.
We are back here at Kessler Field as Monmouth approaches the line with a 3rd and a long 18, the ball at their own 20-yard line.
Ball exactly at the 25 with I formation behind Doug Rosbach. And he's looking to throw on this long situation, 3rd down. He's got time, but now he's got pressure, gets off a throw. It's intercepted at the 35-yard line. Picked off by number 27, James Lorenzo. There is a flag down on the play.
The flag is going to be holding, but that is a big injury. Corbin Morano out of Union High School is down. He's the man that's been on that offensive line replacing Dominic Caniglio, and he went down, and, the officials just immediately waved over to the sideline. 1:34 left to go in this first half. Monmouth trailing 7-0. We're going to take time out here on the Monmouth Football Radio Network.
Frank D. Fish Agency of Long Branch, your professional insurance agent, wants you to know about the insurance you're buying. A number of factors determine the cost of your homeowner's policy, including the type of policy you choose, how much insurance you carry, and the size of your deductible. The construction of your home or apartment is also a factor, as some buildings are more fire resistant than others. Available fire protection in your community and where you live are also factors. The Frank D. Fish Agency of Long Branch can shop your insurance requirements with many companies to obtain the most preferred rate consistent with adequate coverage. Service is important, and so is experience at the Frank D. Fish Agency in Long Branch. For all your insurance needs, call 870-0051. That's 870-0051. Service is important, and so is experience. Call the Frank D. Fish Agency in Long Branch.
Well, I guess we're back here at Kessler Field. 1:34 left to go here in this first half, and Monmouth trailing 7-0.
And this is how you know we're in our first season of Monmouth College football with little glitches like this. But this happened.
Yeah, the ball turns over. The interception by James Lorenzo, the penalty flag that was down, was holding on Monmouth. And speaking of offense, that was the holding on the offensive line. Corbin Morano out of Union High School, the freshman, is still down. So we're going to take yet another commercial timeout, and we'll be back here on the Monmouth Football Radio Network.
Motorola brings you Radius, the first clearly affordable compact two-way radio. Now AR Communications, 91 Main Street, Highway 35 in Eatontown, has the wonderful new Radius by Motorola. These two-way radios bring you clearer transmission and reception at a price as small as they are. The portable model is less than 6.5 inches long, yet it packs all the power you need to keep in touch. Motorola designed Radius not only to be tough, but also for simple reflex operation. When seconds count, just push the button and talk. Radius comes in both portable and mobile units, and they're clearly affordable. You get Motorola quality, the standard of police and fire departments across the country. AR Communications has the complete line of Radius by Motorola. It's more than a radio, it's Radius. AR Communications, 91 Main Street, Highway 35 at the main gate of Fort Monmouth, Eatontown. Call 542-8695 for all your communications requirements. 542-8695. That's 542-8695. Radius by Motorola, the first clearly affordable two-way radio.
As we come back here, the Wagner Seahawks take a timeout. Their first play on offense coming after the turnover. Peter Jones on the sack as he takes down Jason Q for about a 6-yard loss.
And we'll stay here right now. Carmen Morano did manage to get off the field, but he had to be assistant on a carry-out. It doesn't look like he'll be back the rest of this afternoon. If that being the case, that means Jack Wagner, number 53, will have to come in and play right guard, and that'll be the third replacement in this football game at that position. And that could be a problem the rest of the way, Dave, considering how good the first half has gone for Monmouth. They've caught a lot of breaks to be down just 7 points.
It's going to be interesting to see whether or not they're going to move Mike Aquaviva back over to right guard. Right now he's playing right tackle in place of Dominic Caniglio. We're not sure what they're going to do. We're probably not going to see Monmouth with the ball back in this half. Wagner, however, has a second and a long 15 when we start up. 1:23 left to go. Again, the field conditions doing a lot to keep the score low. Wagner scoring on a short touchdown pass to number 83, Bill Summers. That's been the only scoring, 7-0. Wagner leading, 1:23 left to go in this first half.
The story offensively for Wagner has definitely been Keto Lockwood, who has made things happen, and Summers has been a nice surprise with his 2 catches, 65 yards, and 1 touchdown. Monmouth brings up their defense, 2nd and 15 for Wagner. Out of the shotgun, Q looking to throw. Gets off a pass down the left sideline, incomplete. And a fully stretched number 24 for Wagner College trying to make the catch, Kevin Daniel.
Kevin Daniels covered over there on the play by Michael James and Joe Quayle. And again, Peter Jones coming right up the middle, the junior out of Bishop R, doing a great job getting to Jason Q. Q having some pressure. 3rd down, and again, 15 to go as we've got 1:17 left to go in this first half.
Well, Jason Q will bring back up the offense. Once again, shotgun formation, 2 backs in front of him. 3rd down and 15. He takes the snap, looking to throw. He's under pressure. Jones chases him, throws, and it's incomplete. And he was trying to go to the near left sideline, and once again, Peter Jones gets penetration. He makes pressure and forced Jason Q to rush that throw.
He was throwing to Archie Dean. It was a good pass. The only problem is Dean lost his footing and went down, and Wagner is going to have to kick. This will be the 2nd time in the game for the Wagner punter.
Daniel Ricciardi checking in, who's averaging 39 yards. The punt got off a beautiful one the last time.
Monmouth is taking timeout. We'll take a timeout quick here with 1:11 left to go in this first half. Monmouth trailing 7-0. You're listening to the Monmouth Football Radio Network.
Motorola brings you Radius, the first clearly affordable compact two-way radio. Now AR Communications, 91 Main Street, Highway 35 in Eatontown, has the wonderful new Radius by Motorola. These two-way radios bring you clearer transmission and reception at a price as small as they are. The portable model is less than 6.5 inches long, yet it packs all the power you need to keep in touch. Motorola designed Radius not only to be tough, but also for simple reflex operation. When seconds count, just push the button and talk. Radius comes in both portable and mobile units, and they're clearly affordable. You get Motorola quality, the standard of police and fire departments across the country. AR Communications has the complete line of Radius by Motorola. It's more than a radio, it's Radius. AR Communications, 91 Main Street, Highway 35 at the main gate of Fort Monmouth, Eatontown. Call 542-8695 for all your communications requirements. 542-8695. That's 542-8695. Radius by Motorola, the first clearly affordable two-way radio.
We're back at Kessler Field, and we were caught by surprise. It looked like the official signal that Monmouth took a timeout, but they didn't. The punt by Dan Ricciardi goes out of bounds at the 14, and the Hawks put it in play. 1st and 10 with 1:04 left to go in this half.
Ricciardi got off a nice 27-yard punt to put Monmouth in a bad field position with 1:04 remaining. Rossback looking to throw on first down, gets off a pass. It was intended for Polakowski, but it was knocked away by one of the defensive linemen of Wagner College.
It looks like the defensive lineman who knocked that pass down was number 92, and that is Anthony Harper, out of James Madison in Brooklyn.
That stops the clock with 1:01 to go. Rain coming down a little harder as we approach halftime.
Yeah, the umbrellas are starting to go up, and just what this game needs is a bit more mud and a bit more slop.
And a lot more seagulls on the field. 2nd down and 10. The ball's at the 14-yard line. I formation behind Rossback. He looks to hand it off. Gives it to O'Neal. And he'll spins away. He'll break a tackle. Gets to the 20. To the 25. Out to the 32-yard line. And a nice play there by Ralph O'Neal to get the first down.
Looked like he ended up being stomped by Vincent Fife way downfield. That's a big run. That's the longest running play of the day for the Hawks, as the ball will move and be set at the 30, and that'll be a gain of just about 15 for O'Neal. Hawks right back to the line, 52.9 and counting left to go in this half.
High formation, Rossback looking to throw on a quick play here. He goes to the left sideline, throws, and it's picked off. Picked off at the 45 and returned to the 39-yard line. It looked as though
Brian DeVoe, and if it is, that's his 4th interception of the year.
And you are right, it is Brian DeVoe, number 29, who got in on the pickoff.
The senior co-captain out of Hempstead, New York, coming into today's game, 44 unassisted tackles, 3 sacks, and that will be his 4th interception on the year, and a big turnover as it gives Wagner 42 seconds, and I believe they have 2 timeouts left. It gives them a chance to get into some scoring position and put a gift 3 or a gift 7 on the board before the half. 42 seconds left to go in this first half.
Okay, the ball right now at the 39-yard line. No, make it the 40-yard line of Monmouth College. They need about 20 yards to be in somewhat a field goal range, but again, let's remember the field conditions not favorable to a field goal. Q will roll out to the left side. Looking to throw on first down, gets off the pass. It's tipped and almost picked off as Joe Little was in on the stop. Michael James went for the football and nearly came away with it.
Archie Dean had the ball go off his fingertips, and it very easily could have gone right back over to the Hawks. Pretty good pass by Jason Q, rolling out, getting some good protection from his offensive line. And speaking of offensive line, we didn't check out to see exactly who was on the offensive line for Monmouth. Again, going back to the injury a couple minutes ago to Carmen Morano. So we'll be keeping an eye on that in the second half. I'm trying to see Morano on the sidelines, and I don't.
Shotgun formation with 36 seconds remaining in the first half. 7-0 Wagner. Q looking to throw once again. He's under a little pressure. Goes down the middle. Fires complete at the 20-yard line. First down for Wagner College.
And a great pass to Archie Dean. A little bit of a down and in pattern. And right at the 20-yard line, Wagner does take a timeout. Well, no, they didn't take a timeout. Did they take a timeout? They're still moving the chains.
They are moving the chains. The 3 minute clock is stopped, and now, with the trainer coming out, we now know it's a timeout. 29 seconds remaining here in the first half. We'll break for 60 seconds and come back on the Monmouth Football Radio Network.
When you need insurance, turn to an agency you can trust. Turn to the Frank D. Fish Agency of Long Branch for all your insurance needs. They provide a professional, experienced staff to handle all your insurance needs. Service is important, and so is experience. At the Frank D. Fish Agency, service and experience have made them a leader for all forms of personal insurance, including auto, homeowners, life, and health. They also specialize in commercial insurance to cover the needs of merchants, manufacturers, professionals, and contractors, including bonding. Frank D. Fish has been in the business for 45 years. His son, Tom Fish, continues the same tradition of service and experience. Frank D. Fish Agency of Long Branch is a member of the Professional Insurance Agent Association and an independent insurance agent. For all your insurance needs, call 870-0051. That's 870-0051. Service is important, and so is experience. Trust the Frank D. Fish Agency.
After the big pass to Archie Dean, puts the ball at the 20-yard line. Wagner comes out, 28.8 seconds left to go in this half, and they lead 7-0 first down.
Once again, the shotgun formation. Q takes the snap, looking to throw. He goes down the right sideline, throws, and it's incomplete.
Michael James had some great coverage. Lockwood's got his hand up like he's going to try to get some interference call, but James with some great coverage over there that turned that play into an incomplete pass. Brings up a 2nd and 10, 22.9 left to go. And again, we can keep in mind Dan Ricciardi has made a 49-yard field goal this year, but it was not on a field like this. If they are going to decide to kick the ball, it would probably be best looking at the field that it's on the far sideline, the right hash mark.
And let's not forget that his first attempt was a low kick that went nowhere. Right now, Jason Q takes it out of the shotgun, looking to throw over the middle, and it's almost picked off as Joe Little had a shot at picking that ball off on 2nd and 10.
Archie Dean was there, but there was quadruple coverage as Mendez was there. Little got the hand on the ball. Quelly was behind Dean. And also Ryan Monday out of Middletown North making his first appearance in the game.
3rd down and 10 situation, 18 seconds remaining in the first half. Is it 2-down territory? Do we see Ricciardi attempt a field goal in this situation? I would think after the first attempt, Dave, knowing that ball did not even really get off the ground, I would think not.
See, I think Ricciardi's going to be in because it's, again, a gift 3 points. If he puts it through, fine. If not, remember, it was on a turnover. It's a gift 3 if he can get it.
Q looking to throw on 3rd and 10, tries to get a pass off it. If it is complete, the ball will be at the 15-yard line.
It is complete, but the problem is the clock should be.
We got a problem with the clock. Was he out of bounds or not?
No, he wasn't. He definitely wasn't out of bounds.